All right, 7.27C. We've got a great game here. This is an epic game. It's going to be more than an hour. Spoiler alert. There's a lot going on, and I know that this goes really late game. So a lot of the other games that we saw the early laning, which tends to be very, very good and quick. And they just kind of can't close things out. Now, mind you, these are ranked immortal players, so this is like another tier. Obviously not pro tier, but definitely close to it, I would say. That these are definitely on par. So we've got a lot to learn here. One thing to note that this is going to be a Void Spirit off lane, Quap support. Not completely unusual. Quap is definitely versatile and is able to play in almost any lane, but notice how they've just put a ton of pressure on this PA already, and she came in with literally 9 tangos. So she's definitely prepared that this is going to be a rough lane. They need to figure out some way to deal with this. One thing to note, though, if you're looking at it, Void Spirit, though, did not actually go into the lane with the stick. It's coming, and it is on the way for both of them. Yeah, Void and, because of the fact that, again, if you're laning against a PA, what is the best thing to deal with that, and how to mitigate this is obviously through all of that dagger damage, so to speak. You might as well gain as many charges as you can. A nice 2-man Nova there. So this is something that you want to do as Crystal Nova, or Crystal Nova. I mean, that's pretty much what she is, right? This is Crystal Maiden, definitely. You want to hit both of the heroes, and then try not to push the lane as too far ahead as possible. So, all right. One thing to note, that seeing is that this game is going to be probably more than an hour. Spoiler alert, it is. I'm going to try to slow down so I don't lose my voice throughout the entire thing. There's a lot to learn from this game, and we're focusing mainly on this lane because I tend to play the 4, and then you can see the 5. You know what I mean? Like, you see everything but the mid lane. So nice Redmond there, just pulling that one back in. PA is back to full. Notice that the PA actually went full wand, okay? This one, normally I harp on the supports of getting boots before the wand, but as a carry, it's okay. The reason being is that the stats actually help you last hit. It keeps, you know what I mean, in terms of health bonuses and all that, so it keeps you in the lane. So it definitely keeps you stronger. So again, a nice 2-man Nova there. Does have Mangles if she wants to go again. It's another 5 seconds. A good Remnant. And a blink on back. I thought I heard a salve. Oh, okay, here we go. Here's a salve. And notice that they both have some charges up. And obviously just making use of the fact that, she's been dagger spamming. So, more daggers. Just trying to get some last hits. Another Shadow Strike there. First blood in the top lane. Again, we're going to focus on this one. So, actually, that lane is pretty miserable. This seems super rough. An Io and Gyro. This seems like, ooh. Not sure what Io was doing there. I felt like she just kind of, and Io is an orb, but definitely is feminine in this case, I guess. I don't know why. All right. Nonetheless, felt like she could have tethered away. The creeps were on the way, but nonetheless, Magnus is up here, slight advantage, but Wisp is on the way, and this is a pretty rough duo to deal with. If you have a good IO player, you should find a good, homing missile, and that'll just kind of be the end of that and just zone it out. But, okay, if you're a good carry, find a good Wisp player. I'm a good Wisp player. I'm just kidding. Well, I play Wisp. I'm not a good one, but I do know how to play Wisp, so... if you know how to carry, I'll be your buddy, I'll just link with you. We'll have a friendship bracelet. Okay, it's been untethered just like that. But the lane is in a kind of a bad spot, and Io actually screws up the pull here. Like, this is ranked immortal, so that seemed a little unacceptable in my eyes. But she's kind of absorbing a lot of the damage. She does have the headdress, which, like, look at this heal. I mean, it says only 5.3. That's the natural one. But 5.0, so you're getting 10 plus the 15, because you get double heal off of that tether. And so, nice placement. Notice how the range of the tower is right here, and they're just outside. So this tower, these creeps should not be pushing. Okay. I mean, look at, like, no boots, no nothing, right? So Wisp is actually kind of struggling, or sorry, Willow is suffering here. The Bramble Maze does catch at least the Gyro. Alright, I feel like every lane that I watch tends to not be the action. But there's a lot going on. Definitely things that you need to learn in terms of how you want to proceed. The 5-minute, Io is late, but he's looking to kind of just harass out Magnus. He's doing the body blocks and the homing missiles there. The Bramble Mace will hopefully secure them. Oh, they do, but Magnus actually turned around and stopped, and he got caught out by the homing missile. And Willow will just form on out of there. Oh, and here comes Puck. Definitely need to be scared, considering that she's level 6, but she's kind of low, so she can't really dive. And it's hard to gauge how much life the Wisp and Gyro actually have because of the amount of heals that they have. And it's constantly going on. So Wisp is way easier to play. I recommend it. The fact that, like, you know, Wisp is kind of good at almost all stages with the percentage heals, you know, the tether and all, you know, all levels it's just super good. The only thing you need to worry about is your positioning. It needs to be spot on, or else you're kind of screwed. One thing that I'm not great at is the relocates. I feel like I could work on that. That's probably the weakest part of my game. But nice pull through right there. Notice how when he tethers here, he kills all the trees. So it's very easy, and you can kind of barrel through, so to speak. So very good by the IO here. And I know we said that we're going to talk about this lane, but... Oh, and they're going on the Quap. We could blink away. The Remnant will save him for now. Ken Jeong. Not the real one, of course. But doing some damage. The shield is on up, and that should just kind of dissuade them from going on in. Quap is very low. And, okay. I would prefer the Boots here. Actually, I think Boots is way better. But she did go Wand here because of the fact that the spamming might be too high. And also the fact that she has a blink. She has an out, right? So she doesn't need to just kind of stutter step her way out. She has other means, so to speak. So PA very... Okay. Quap was super low, and this is probably going to be the death of the Void. Oh! Does get the Crystal Maiden. And just going to teleport his way out. Really? Although he's looking for the blink. I think blink and then dagger. Oh, he's looking for the crit. The Remnant will slow him down. Nice use. Whee, the Bramble Mace. He micros his career. Actually, that career needs to keep moving. Use the high ground. Use the high ground. Oh, no way. Oh my gosh. The Willow could have gotten the career and... Oh, nice dodge. The plays. And it's just enough mana for the pulse. Actually, I think that this would have helped the team more if they just secured that one. Gyro just being able to solo kill. Catching out of Magnus out of position. Alright. That was the last hit. And Quap does has something on the way. Oh, has the rest of the urn. Dark Willow. This is silly. I can't even click on him. Wow. Not even observers. Nobody can get to the Shadow Realm. TP coming on in. PA is getting a little low, and here comes the... Oh my gosh. Puck with a nice rotation, nice TP, and secures that. And they're going to be here. The Tornado is off the mark, but Invoker's all by himself. Oh, solo silenced, and that's the most painful thing. With especially... Oh, but he gets the Ghost Walk? No. The orb on through, and that will be the death. That's 3 for nothing. Nice rotation by Puck, getting the DD. Nice orb here. I mean, I'm sorry. The nice, whatchamacallit? The Dream Coil. And through that all, Dark Willow had actually TP'd in the mid lane, getting a little bit more XP. Just getting to level 6 as quickly as possible. CM is almost there. Notice how all the supports are making use of the space available, right? The Dark Willow had died. Where does she go? Instantly TPs into the mid lane, tries to get as much XP as possible, and doesn't take anything away from the Puck, who was in the bottom lane making some rotations and some nice ganks. So very good rotations, 59 and 7. That's pretty darn good in mid lane, especially going into the 10-minute mark. This is probably the biggest thing. All right. So Void is a little bit behind Quapis as well, but it does a full earn. So he sacrifices Boots for the fact that, like, yeah, you've got 290 movement speed, but you do have the blink on in. So I think that's pretty much how this Quap is going to get around. I feel like it would help her more if she actually went Boots, though. So, BOT is the first big item by Puck. And Invoker has an urn as well as the Quap. So I don't like this. Bad communication on that team. Again, there's really no point in having more than one. Here's the homing missile with the barrage. The call down, that is. And a lot to do about nothing. They actually didn't even secure that rune. So, a little bit of an issue. Alright, so. But it looks like Invoker wants to go first item, big item, Vessel. But the thing is that your Quap actually has the urn. Right? You don't get 2 souls for the same. Oh, Dreamcoil on the other end. Void Spirit is there. The Terrorize is off the mark. They do get the Scream on in. The Sonic Wave. And he gets skewered on back. But to what? The Pulse is going to be there. The Cyclone, the Tornado does end up hitting the Dark Willow at least. And they're going to at least get the Magnus. And the Wisp is here and brought his friends. Except for the Gyro, that is. Level 6, he doesn't need to be careful. He's going to get super low. And the Orb does connect and does kill the poor Disco Light. But can they get the puck? He actually blinks on forward with the orb, and then he zips on out. Very elusive. He's deny range, and he does go down in the end. Okay, so overall, not bad. You got a 4 for 2. Pretty good trade. I'll take that trade. And of course, more more soul charges for the urn. Well, Invoker only got 1. Mind you, it's a proximity thing, so it's kind of silly that they're fighting within the team. Arthur here going the Gyro with the Ags first, which is quite nice with the IO. I mean, to have the side gunner, just the amount of attack damage. Because like this guy, he gives you, what is his speed? With overcharge? Attack speed 140 at level 4. Which is pretty sick. It's kind of hard to deal with this guy at that point. So, some things to note. Back in the mid lane, Puck is still level, is on top with a level 11. Does have BOT though, so he is a little bit further ahead. Looks like the action is going to be here. There was a nice stack, but it looks like it's going to be contested here. The homing missile instantly placed down, and he wants to go, but they do have an RP on him, and he's trying to heal him up, but the IO just not enough. The Tornado's on the back end of this, catches only out the Magnus. This is a 4-man rotation, and IO just tethers away, and that should be the end of that, but you lost your carry. And through that all, what do? They've taken that. They didn't TP, knowing that, you know, by the time they got there, it would have been too late. So what do? They continue to push. Oh, and the instant TPs on the other end, they're all over the place. They do get the T1, but they have the Remnant, and they want to fight this. Sonic Wave does end up destroying that Willow, completely caught out. And here's the Puck with Invis, and Quap with no mana. And that should be the end of this, has nowhere to go. And that's the bounty. Count it. Void Spirit should probably change that, I think. Unless you eat a Tango, and then there's no point in having Tangos in. Nonetheless, alright. 13 minutes, guys. Come on. We need the net worth. Puck is well, I mean, about 1,000 gold ahead, right? That's a pretty good lane. Puck has been everywhere. This burn. Been able to push. Hasn't been able to get the tower, though. So that's one thing to note. But she is level 13. And Puck definitely is a female, I would say. It's a fairy dragon. Has a feminine voice. Oh, Dreamcoil. They do want this. The EMP. Quap is there. He does get in. And the Puck is going to have to just orb on out. And they want this. They got the Vessel. The homing missile is continuing. But to what extent? Do they stop it? Oh, okay. She dodges it. Really well played. Actually, this Puck player has been on point. The dodges, the phases, the phase shifts, the orbs. She's kind of been everywhere. And now the PA is actually top 2 in terms of net worth. This Invoker, I hate to say it, hasn't impressed me much. Quaswex at a level 11, not even a single value point in Exort, but he's missed his Tornadoes. If you're going to play Quaswex, you got to hit your Tornadoes. Like, literally, that's you have 4 spells, right? And if you're not going to hit your main one, what good are you? And he doesn't even have any urn charges, so his Cold Snap really doesn't do a whole lot. Actually, it's interesting. I want to see what Quap is going next. Quap is going Vessel is where? He's like, fuck y'alls, because I don't care. Oh, and Invoker realizing that is going to be like, okay, I will go Solar Crest. And to be honest, at this point, if you've sacrificed the fact that you're not going to go Vessel, maybe you sell the urn. I mean, the mana regen is quite good, so you keep it for that, and obviously there's no point in selling it just to get it. But at some point, you'll probably sell that. Silence on here. The Cursed Crown. They do get a nice Dream Coil. The stream the RP catches out too, and this is going to be a lot, especially with the freezing field on the back end, and it does a lot of work. And the call down is there as well. CM is somehow still alive. Okay, now goes down, and is going to look to TP on out the Magnus. No way. Puck is still alive, and a 3 for 3. And man, so here, if you're going to have a team fight, you might as well bring some friends. Because that was almost everyone except for this PA, which could have been the difference. But, I mean, when you're happily farming, like, you got a Battle Fury at, what, I think 14 minutes? And it's almost got BKB on the way. You're having a pretty decent game. I mean, definitely BKB is on this list. It controls, like, all the control that's on you. And through that all, they're looking to force down the T1 mid. Okay. So he can hit creeps when the Cyclone. But a DD on this Puck who has Blink. Very scary. 16 minutes. This Invoker, on the other hand, just got Medallion and Urn and 2 really earlier items. And he's really not been able to take advantage. And you can see this in terms of the net worth, right? Like, this is a game where the Gyro is going to have to kind of literally carry this game. Because your Invoker is about the control, and then who's going to provide all the damage? Probably the Gyro. He's kind of building himself up for some damage, especially the Orchid. The Quap is always there. It's going to go Vessel. Or... okay, so maybe something else. But Quap able to find some sort of farm in the other lanes, at least. Alright. 4-man rotation by Radiant. They really want to take this T1, and they're just focusing. This is great. This is high-level Dota, right? Yes, your bottom is pushing, but you had enough space, and now you're just going to look to take this. Oh, the Cursed Crown, and he TPs on out. Yeah. Might as well play it safe. There's no point in defending. It's a numbers thing, right? If there are 4 people here, that means there are, 4 people not in other lanes. So what do? You push the other lane, and this lane is pushing here, and you get out. You play safe. There's no point in for the Quap trying to even, take on those, because he would have just died. There's just way too much control. Like another blink on Magnus, blink on Puck. And this PA who's getting relatively fat. Very close to BKB. Bracer on IO. Okay, just to be a little bit tankier. All Crystal Maiden wanted to do was just ward, and she will die for this. She's been remnanted forward. Alright, so Yasha gonna go. Okay. Cool. Orchid. Alright. Quap. It's gonna go Greaves at one point. So he's got mech already. Yeah, so you don't have the Alk, you don't have the Bristles, you don't have all that stuff. So you don't have to prioritize the Vessel as fast as possible. Yes, it will help. Yes, it's good, and definitely something you need to get. I mean, because Magnus can get kind of tanky. But there are definitely ways around it. So you don't... oh, the blink in forward. They want to initiate. The Cursed Crown as well. He really doesn't have much to do. He's trying to mech on way just to sustain. The Bramble Maze does connect. The Cyclone, or the Tornado, sorry, is off the mark one more time. He's like a Pudge that can't hit his hooks. He's a bad hooker. Alright, so the Sentry placed here. That's an interesting one. I mean, actually, that's a pretty good spot. It gets the high ground here, the cliff, and then this is another place where wards usually will go. Like, generally speaking, you play the Sentry here, but, I mean, they have the Observer here. Okay, let's see the middle. Mid T1, they're trying to prioritize it. Not in deny range yet, but it is getting very, very low. So, while you don't need the Mexican standoff, in the sense that you're not really fighting, but at the same time, you do need to be protecting the mid T1, just because it's a strategic objective. Ooh, the blink skewer. That's like all of my Magnuses that I play with. Completely whiffing that one. Notice that the Magnus does selfishly have 2 neutral items, while the Crystal Maiden is dirt poor. Does not even have a neutral. No handouts. The Vampire Fangs actually would be pretty good. I mean, just spread it around. Share the love. And they go up blind. And the BKB reveal is now being used. And so... how much can they do? The PA is just getting completely cutted out because that BKB, I mean, that's a 10-second charge, and they got nothing out of that. So that was a really nice disengage. Wow. Very, very, like, they didn't try to force it. And, I mean, everybody got away. That was perfectly placed. I mean, perfectly positioned by the Dire. That's a really smart play. That's really smart. Like, I know that at this level it's like a no-brainer, but, like, how many times at our level, which is non-ranked immortal, do you have guys that are literally just like, oh, we'll just fight, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody's here. But that BKB on the PA, this is a huge power spike. You don't want to fight this guy. You don't really have the MKBs. You don't really have the ways to kind of deal with that. So, even Solar Crest and all that, you can't really click it with the BKB and everything, so... they're trying to force the T1, looking for the deny. It's in deny range now. Okay, so they've completely backed off. The homing missile will dissuade any sort of action in the mid lane. But one thing I'm not liking is that they're not denying it. Interesting. Really? Oh, they've got a smoke here. CM is already too far from the smoke. Oh, the PA does get revealed. They ping him out. Yeah, why run away from this T1, especially since it wasn't denied? I don't know why you didn't deny this. Oh, now he tries to deny it. Oh, he gets it. He gets it. But he's revealed, and the Evoker is there, and he's going to get the BKB the second time. This is the second charge, which is pretty important, especially if this game's going to go late. IO is somehow alive. The mech is there. Wow. And this IO is tanking this PA, the Sonic Wave, pushing him back, but the IO does fall. The Invoker is on the other, and the RP catches him out. 3 for 1 so far. Can they get anything else? Puck is turning into a nuisance. He's on a mega kill streak. And I mean, look at the gold change, XP. I mean, straight up. The Invoker positioning has not been great, okay? I feel like the Invoker's been like one of the weaker players on this team. Just because the positioning on that was... If you see the PA, you have to respect the fact that, like, anytime they just blink on you, you're just pretty much dead, right? And the fact that the BKB, second charge was used. 9 seconds is a pretty long time. So you have to respect that. And all they have is pretty much magic damage in terms of crowd control, you know, and the PA is just going to ignore all of that. Plus, you don't want to be grouped up because the RP's there. I mean, this Magnus had a pretty sick one. But through that all, they lost, what, 3? Okay, Invoker here has Solar Crest. He's looking to keep himself in this game. One thing that's odd is that this Quap has been going... the Sunstrike does connect, but it's like a level 1. Phase shift on out. Silence. The Orb goes up a little bit further ahead. The Dream Coil is going to protect him in the back, and he's going to TP on away. This puck is very elusive and wily. Okay, awesome. S&Y, Ags, pretty good timings. 23 minutes. I mean, to be honest, if he had BKB, I'd feel a lot better, especially since the Dream Coil, RP, all of these things are magic pretty much. But he's not prioritizing it because of the fact that he has the Wisp, right? And so the Wisp is kind of keeping him alive, and he's able to play a little bit more defensive. Now, while I normally go at offensive, defensive item, and I do harp on that quite a lot, you can get away with it if you have the supports that can kind of, you know, help you, right? They can save you. And the Wisp is perfect for that. In terms of, you know, any sort of save can relocate you out. And if you have BKB, you can't be relocated out, right? Because he can't tether onto you, as silly as that sounds. But you have outs. Mind you, he is going to get it. So now he has a lot more damage, status resistance as well. And the fact that, like, look at all those stats. I don't even know all of them, to be honest. All right, so Yule's up on this Invoker, who's been going, you know, straight up, Quas Wax, crowd control. Does have Exort, but this is like a puny level 2 Exort. Quap, on the other hand, has gone this weird hybrid build, and is going a lot of utility. I am okay with this. I feel like the position 4 is kind of, can be somewhat versatile, can be played in different ways. I don't think you have to go the straight up, you know, 4 staff Glimmer. I mean, I think at some point you'll need it, but right now, utility is the name of the game. That Greaves will definitely help, especially with all of this damage that's coming on in. It negates a lot of that, the amount of sustain that you'll get. And just keep yourself up, because again, if you have to think of the Greaves and Mech and all these things as being compounded by the fact that you have a Wisp on your team. Oh my god. Because the heals and everything. Ooh, this oh, Desolator and Aegis. Whew, this PA is scary. Okay, so one thing to note about the Dire is that they've played very intelligently, in the sense that they realize the PA has the BKB, right? So any sort of fight, as long as you're not sacrificing, as long as you're not losing, you know, entire team, getting team wiped, so to speak, you're wasting the BKB charges. And once she's down to a 5-second charge, that's the time where literally your team is straight up magic damage. Yeah, you have some right-click damage from Gyro and all that, but he is the one that's going to actually be able to fight this PA in the end, right? You have to look at it as like the boss, the late game boss, right? How are we going to deal with this epic beast of a hero? And the way you do that is obviously you just waste the charges. Oh, silence, terrorize. Oh, and the Dream Coil has actually been snapped, and they're going to get 2 on that one. That was a nice rotation there. The Dream Coil into the terrorize. That's a pretty nice combo. Doesn't seem like much, but man, that stun and damage that's added on, it's definitely worth it. Hang on, what's the stun damage? The break stun damage is... Stun duration is 4.5 seconds. Okay? The break damage is 500. The initial damage is only 200. So if you're wondering, oh, I'll just tank it, I'll just be able to get it out, it's definitely not worth it. You must stay in place. It's kind of like the Mars Arena. It's going to control you. So this is 26 minutes, and they're going high ground. I feel like Radiant are playing it correctly, realizing their peaks. They do have Aegis, so they are strong. A couple daggers on out. Bramble Maze gets caught on in. He really needs BKB. He has only 823, hence why he hasn't bought the next Mithril Hammer. They do get the homing missile is going to connect on the PA, just stops them, but they're not overextending, right? They're staying on the high ground, realizing that that is their peak. Oh, the IO just gets gone on there. The RP catches on to 2. The Meteor is going to go, but they've been pushed out. Arthur dies as well. They've lost 2 so far, but the puck does go down. So that's a pretty massive one. PA is going in, but I don't know if this is the right call. He doesn't have the dust to deal with the Invoker. He daggers, and then he blinks on back. And honestly, they need to really focus on the objectives and not anything else. I think they might have overextended, especially with Gyro having to use this buyback here, and they're going to look to get the Willow. He does go down. Yep, the Tornado is going to miss on that end, and they're going to get the PA here. Have they gone too far? The Aegis has now been popped. The ice wall, the ice barrier is up. They do get the Remnant on in, and the PA is going to die a second time. Aegis, congratulations. Doesn't really matter when you've lost 3 for 2 because Gyro had to buy back there. So a really nice buyback there. I mean, that was a really... I mean, yeah, it sucks that you lost, you know, one of your Raxes. But at the end of the day, that was a really nice hold. That really turned it around. I mean, 4K net worth lead, right? You're still behind, but the thing is that you've killed the 2 biggest players. The puck and the PA, both of these things, right? And so they're kind of similar, kind of squishy, kind of can be handled. And this is going to change the game once he gets his BKB. And he's very, very close. The Invoker, on the other hand, does have Yules. One thing I don't like is the fact that Radiant, they were diving. There was really that blink in by PA, complete overextension. Play safe, stick together, take out the racks, focus. Why are we trying to, you know, get kills when it's super, you know what I mean? It's super difficult to be diving T4s at this stage. Your net worth lead is not that high. Nice Yules on up here. It catches out both of them. The Remnant, the puck, that's the one you want. He's the bling bling guy in terms of net worth, right? He's the highest one, or he was the highest. Definitely, those are the ones you want to focus, as opposed to the Magnus, who, you know, he's down here somewhere. His value, so to speak, is definitely a lot less. Okay, so that overextension is really starting to hurt them. Things to note. All right. And through that all, they're looking to group up top, make some, at least fix some of the lanes. Mind you, these creeps are going to happily push in. Gyro, realizing that, is going to TP on back, take some free farm, and fix the lanes. One thing we've seen, though, we've seen a lot of fights. 3 uses of the BKB. This could be another one, especially with the homing missile. He's going to look to just kind of run away. The call down being used. Oh, they do get the stun with the homing missile, but the terrorize will push him back. Nice 3-man RP, and the BKB now being revealed by the Magnus, and that's on the other end of that. The tornado is going to hit, but it doesn't really matter with the BKB. But this fight is going all over the place. Io actually had to buy back. He relocates in, and he gets the nice save on through, and that's complete team wipe. Wow, he completely turned that one around. Actually, I don't want to rewind it, but that was a pretty sick fight. That looked bad with that, especially with that 3... Okay, we need to rewind this. Let's go a little slower, because I just felt like that fight was just kind of ridiculous. All right, hang on. Hang on. Let's just see how this one starts. Right? So this is where the dagger gets in the homing missile. The positioning of the call down is nice, because you realize that the homing missile will probably connect. PA probably needed to BKB here. He was trying to be selfish and greedy, right? Because he thought that he could save his BKB, but he needed to use that there because he needed to prevent the stun. Now, look at how much damage gets gone on. The terrorize is there, but the terrorize into his RP catches him out. But in that time, he was stunned. Now he pops the BKB. He's looking to turn this. A couple shots in. The IO falls here. And he does go down. The void is going to slowly tick down. Nope, he pulses away. And here comes the tornado, but all of them does catch out the Willow and the CM with a tornado, but the other two have been BKB'd. Void disengages a little bit. And then the deafening blast, a nice 3-man, especially with the BKBs just completely run out at this point. The CM puck going down. The PA's in a bad spot. Magnus is like, what do I do? Oh, I have no mana, but I'm going to right-click. And the Bramble Maze is there, but a lot of them, I mean, if you get to the IO, it's not a big deal, especially since they bought back. And that was just such a great team fight there. That's textbook. I mean, things look bad with that 3-man RP, but just look at how much that's completely turned around. Dark Will is running for his life. Magnus just, like, left for dead. Doesn't really have anything to do. The homing missile does connect, and he should just die in the end. Perfect. Well played. All right. And through that all, Quap picks up the bounty room and does have Greaves. And so even when they were all connected or whatever, the Greaves, the Sonic Wave, all of these things are just compounding the amount of control, the heal, the sustain. Pretty sick. And that was an awesome buyback by IO. That was literally game-saving, right? Because you kept the gyro alive in the end, and that's the biggest one. And this completely changed. Yes, your PA is still top, but man, he was top a while ago, and this lead is kind of faltered off. And down for 34 seconds, and Gyro is just looking to happily farm. He's a very fast farmer, so he'll be back in this game as quickly as possible. And so Paku is having a really nice game. If you're looking at it now, has kind of, they have the amount of sustain to deal with this magic burst that's been there, right? Puck realizing this has to go Aeon Disc just to keep himself alive in the fight just a little bit longer so that he can get some blinks, some orbs on out, and to be a little bit more elusive. But at the end of the day, if they can sustain all of your damage control, this could be potentially a problem, right? How are you going to deal with this? And this T2 is getting melted, and they're just going to take that one for free, and that should be the end of that. But the Dream Coil is on the back of this. The PA is there. Does get the Quap at least. No. Okay, now he gets it, and he's going to go on in one more time. He does get the IO as well. He doesn't have it, but PA, no BKB now, and now he's gone on the Ice Barrier, just completely slowing him down. Doesn't have the Blink on way. And the Yule's on up to save themselves, at least from the damage of Gyro, and this is just to kind of lock him in. They don't have the Dust for this, and this is probably going to be the death of the Willow. The Remnant as well, just trying to secure it, and that's going to be a 2 for 2, but you've lost your PA one more time. And yes, the BKB, we were like, oh, okay, I had an early BKB, but you're down to 5 charges here. Very, very quick. So basically, if he engages BKBs, and all they do is disengage, they have the mech and just kind of keeping themselves up with sustain, like, this, a 3-man RP, but they don't really have the magic damage. They really need the BKB. They get the mini skewer. They do get the invoker at least. And Gyro with a call down. The freezing field is doing a lot of work, and he actually ends up killing the Gyro. So in the end, the CM with the plague gets a double kill. Very nice. And again, this is one of those things where Glimmer, you freezing field into the Glimmer, so the Gyro couldn't kill it. So for the people at home that are watching, you're like, oh, okay, how does this invoker or whatever, or how does this CM, how do I make myself heard, right? The Gyro at that point did not have BKB, or I'm pretty sure it was used or was on cooldown. And then right on top of that, you freezing field, you Glimmer yourself and pray. I mean, hopefully, like the 20 armor and the fact that they don't have vision, which he did not have, and he couldn't really deal with it, so. And it looks like the call, okay, they wanted Aegis, and it's going to be up very, very soon. All right. One thing I'm not liking is that they're wasting a lot of time trying to wait for the respawn of Roche. But in the end, when you're up 3 heroes, you got to push some lanes. You got to fix this lane. You got to push it. I don't know what they're doing. They're just in the jungle happily farming. Like, you got to take an objective, right? Why would you not use this space and time to push, right? Force them back. If you take this tower and then you take that outpost bottom, you're literally pushing them back to their own high ground, and they're not going to feel safe. But seeing as that, you know, the Dire have this one, they have this outpost, and yes, I realize that it's time, but this tower should have been taken a while ago. Okay, so they'll get that in the end. And then when this is starting to respawn, this is when you go back into the jungle, and then you farm as much as you can. You leave behind like a single creep so that the enemy, the Dire in this case, would have less heroes to farm, or less creeps to farm. And they have to waste time just moving around trying to get as much farm as they can. But a smoke on here, this is a really back and forth game. Gyro, oh, the smoke is popped. They don't have high ground, they don't have vision. He blinks away. The Dream Coil catches on 2. The Ice Barrier will just kind of stop that. He blinks back in. He gets the silence, and they do kill the IO. That is the #1 target. The PKB is now being popped. This is a 5-second charge. So what do? You run away. He does have DD, so you can't. Just got to run for your life. All right. One thing to note is that the carriers are starting to get the carries. Are starting to get 6-slotted, right? Meaning it's harder for them to carry dust, the vision, and so they need to have the pocket support, so to speak, just kind of walking around with them. Somebody needs dust. Willow is a good support as opposed to the CM who doesn't have dust or any sort of sentries. They did get Roche. So it's like a really quick Roche into a fight there. The Yule's up on the puck. The BKB is now being used. Oh, they catch a nice tornado there. The EMP on the PA. That'll take away a majority of his mana. And here comes the Gyro with his BKB. He's going on in, and he wants the CM. He gets that very, very quickly. They do get the puck, or they're trying to trap him in. I think there was a homing missile. Yeah. It changes targets, or changes directions, that is. And it is going to continue. Gyros continue to move on in. He phase shifts away, and it looks like he's going to look to turn this. The PA has been silenced, and that is probably not the one you want to go on. The RP, the Aegis is popped, and the tether is there. They do get the terrorize. It's been popped on in. And, okay, so the heal is going to be there. The Greaves is going to be nice. The silence up on him, and the blink in, the blink strike. They do get Gyro in the end. 89 seconds. He does have buyback if he wants to go, but this is probably a disengage. The nice pulse there. Sorry, the shield that is. And it's silence. Nope. He blinks away. And it's hard to get away from this puck. He's dragging the creeps, the dagger. Oh, he blinks away. The Invoker, the Yule's up on the PA, who doesn't really have BKB at this point. And the Ice Barrier is going to miss. The Cursed Crown is in position. The puck is just bouncing in and out of this fight, playing how a puck should play. They do get the buyback from the Invoker. They do get the Magnus on that end. He was remnants and forward. And here we go. The a couple more fights. The Glimmer TP on out. The homing missile will actually stop that, and they should see it. The Curse Crown completely whiffs, or at least the other guys. It does hit the gyro, and they're going to continue to fight this one, and they want more. The call down on that end, and the Invoker has to use himself to keep himself alive. The call down is now being used. The IO and the heals is just too much, and they're trying to at least get something out of this. They do need to get the the PA. They get the CM instead, and they want more. Divide, and they want this PA who's been slowed down. The BKB is now being used one last time. Again, 5-second charge. He's looking to TP on out. Do they have any stuns? No, they do not. The Remnant doesn't really affect them because the BKB was used. So a buyback from Invoker. That's a dieback, excuse me. And if you're looking at, like, look at how many died. 4, 4, 3? A total of 4 buybacks. I mean, just the amount of change. Like, that was a long, really long fight. Void Spirit, on the other hand, has Shivas. More ways to just kind of slow down, control this PA. I mean, his BKB is only so long. Yes, he has Abyssal. Yes, he has Desolator. Yes, he's going to do a lot of damage. But in the end, I feel like they do find the PA all by himself. And the Sonic Wave is going to push him back. And they do kill the PA. No buyback. And that's without the gyro. That's pretty sick. Okay. So Satanic on this gyro, who's getting fatter and fatter and just going to get more difficult to deal with. The amount of heals is going to be insane. One thing to note is that when you have an IO like that, who has the urn? Sorry, the Vessel. You Vessel IO, and the amount of heals that he provides is just way less. This seems like a misplay. Seems like a really bad misplay on the side of Radiant. You control this guy. Yeah, you can't kill him or whatever. But if you can stop his healing and the sustain, that's like the way you control this team. Itemization, very poor on the Radiant side. So even at Ranked Immortal, you're making mistakes. Magnus here with just straight up control, but not a whole lot of damage. He's gone straight up utility. And I mean, it's, wow, 3,000 HP and an IO and Satanic. Like, I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you. I mean, you have Greaves on the back end of this. Invoker doing his good job of just pushing out the bottom lane. Pushing things out. Alright, and here we go. Vessel, because that's the one you want. Obviously, the attack speed and all that. Wow. Just more control. Just melts towers at this point. It's completely turned this around. 40 minutes. Alright, so we're almost there. Void Spirit just getting super fat as well. He does have Ninja Star. Ninja Gear, that is. A DD on Gyro. What do you do? This is super scary. He's just going to farm instead. He's not going to really take advantage of this. 1K net worth late 33-32. 50-50. 50-50 game. Definitely. So Puck is trying to create space. This is the time where your team fights have not been winning. You've been kind of suffering in that sense. What is this Illuminati set of wards? What is this? Alright, but they have, I guess... Alright. A smoke on up. Can they catch anything? Pings are kind of going on out. And they kind of sensed this. I don't know if they saw it, but it was like a perfect disengage right there. Somebody pinged. I don't know who pinged. But the really nice disengage. They've gone to the high ground. Through that all, there's a sentry here. Okay, but there's... The vision is only... Oh, this is a dire one. Sorry, I was completely like, well, why would the Radiant do this? But they've created a Illuminati of protection? I'm not sure why they did that, actually. But, okay. I mean, if you've got some wards to kill, and you don't want to place them in obvious spots, this is definitely something that I would not predict at all. That seems like a very interesting way of doing this. Okay. CM has Blink. Or, sorry. Has BKB. She had a Blink. So I think she sold it. Interesting. Okay. Realizing that positioning isn't the biggest thing because you're going to get jumped on anyways, right? And TPing on in and trying to go for that glimmer freezing field, kind of, you're going to get blown up. So I think you need to play a little bit safer. And so the puck is kind of the same way, in the same style of being very, very squishy. Has Lincoln's Aeon Disc, just more ways to kind of keep yourself into the fight, sustaining just through sheer, survivability at this point. Lanes are in a pretty decent spot, kind of providing pressure on almost all three lanes. Top lane probably needs to be fixed. Puck goes in by himself. That was dangerous. Ghost Scepter on the Quap. Just more ways of keeping herself alive. Probably going to get Scepter. Ethereal Blade, that is. Sorry. And a Quap disengage, or sorry, DC here. Let's just kind of speed things up. We don't need to see the musical chairs. The disrespect on pause. All right, and then we're back. Okay. Okay. Magnus's BKB is only 7 seconds. Obviously, the PAs we talked about. Satanic as well. And as the Tomb queued up, trying to get a level 30. I mean, at this point, not the end of the world. Obviously, it'd be probably better if the support's got to just kind of get them up to level 20. I think that's a bit of a peak for them. But if you need 30 and it'll help out your team, then by all means. And so one thing to note is that you see that the BKB is 5 seconds, right? So he, realizing this, went the Minotaur Horn. More spell immunity goodness, so to speak. You definitely need that, especially against this lineup. And mind you, Quap has not reconnected. So they've kind of unpaused. I mean, they did wait a decent amount of time. There's only so long you can, pause the game, so to speak. But a Rapier queued up. Gyro. And it does have lifesteal on this one as well. So look at this. This is the intelligence of this build, so to speak. You have S and Y, which provides health regen and lifesteal amp. Snap on in. Oh, nice relocate. Oh, nice relocate. Where did he go? People are like, I don't even know. But that was a really nice relocate. And plus, he's on the right side of this. He's on the wall. I'm not sure where he's going to go. Oh, that was perfect. Wow. Nice relocate there. But okay, back to this. 30% lifesteal amp. You have Satanic. Increases lifesteal percentage by 200%. Plus, you have the Paladin Sword. Mind you, obviously, they're not exponential. They don't compound. And there's a little bit of diminishing returns. But this, in addition to the fact that you have an IO, like, what? The amount of lifesteal is ridiculous. Like, this guy, 3,000 life. Right? I know that some people would go heart in this case, but look at this damage. Aeon Disc has already been popped. He does need to be careful. He tries to blink on away. The cooldown is going to miss. Okay, that was a... Yeah, that cooldown was kind of unnecessary, I would say. But he's trying to get saved for buyback. He does need to farm. This is definitely a little risky. Oh, he's got the rapier if he wants to go for it. He bought it out. Holy crap. But he's not combining it for some reason. And okay, here's some things to note. Is that obviously if you die, you drop the rapier, right? Easy peasy. Everyone knows that. But if you're getting gone on like this, you can turn it on and off. Right? Like if you need it, the extra... Oh, another relocate. Back on in. Yeah, they probably need they need this Quap. Obviously, fighting 4v5 is a little difficult. Ooh! Okay, okay. All right, all right. Oh, now he built it. Okay? Look at this. Did you see that? Like, these are just the tiny little things that you could do to improve your own play. You didn't buy the Divine Rapier because this is dangerous. Walking around. If you get caught out here, your Rapier, and you get blown up, you just lost your Rapier. Right? But what he did was he kept it, he locked it, and then he actually moved to the high ground here where it's relatively safe. I mean, your team is here, you've got high ground, and then the fact that he relocated back, and now he's ready to go. He's got the Rapier here. Okay? Small thing. Some people might not understand why you would do that, but these are the small things that are the difference between you and me. Right? Me being like you guys in the sense that, like, I'm not good at this game, right? Arthur, on the other hand, this gyro is quite good. Notice what he's going to do. He's got some more, like, heals if he wants to. The cooldown is being used. Oh my gosh, look how much damage he's doing. Oh my gosh. Can he fight through this? And the amount of heals? He gets percentile back. 3-man RP, and they're doing a lot of work, but they do kill the PA on this one. The Aegis has been popped. Look at this sustain, the heal. He's just out healing through all of this systematic, doing a lot of work, and that PA goes down in the end. And oh my gosh, he's completely turned this. A triple kill, ultra kill. Give him the rampage. Give him the rampage. Oh, no, he can't find this. The Wisp does go down in the end, but he went solo, and the Satanic there just out healing all of that damage. That was ridiculous. All right, we're just going to fast forward this one more time. I don't think the Quap's coming back. Hate to say it. It's been like 10 minutes, and this Quap is just chilling. I mean, it's 4,000 gold. At this point, I think you put the Quap like here, but that's just me. I mean, you can control her, right? All right. Yeah, so this is going to be super difficult. This is like the perfect itemization. If there's any gyro players out there and you're like, oh, what do I do? How do I get better? Like, what is the itemization? Like, this is a perfect thing, but it's not always perfect every game. And that's the beauty of Dota, is that everything changes, right? The fact that he's going to buy a second rapier. Okay. Yeah, you don't need treads, I guess. I mean, you've already got 379 movement speed. How is he getting so fast? Oh, this is the plus 10% right there. Oh my gosh. Second rapier. So all in, what do you do? Doesn't even have BKB, realizing, or it doesn't, is not saving up for buyback. So 2 rapiers here. And you might as well, right? I mean, you've got the IO to kind of back you up. Look at the amount of heals, plus the Holy Locket here. Oh, amplifies heals you provide by 35%. So yeah. This IO, my gosh, why is he so poor? I mean, he's had some good relocates. And the amount of sustain, it's not that he's been sustaining, but he's used the Quap, who's got the Greaves, to pump up the amount of heals that he provides. So that's an interesting thing. So he's completely gone to position 5 in the sense of, you know, all I need to do is tether and relocate my gyro. Just keep him alive, because he's been focused so many times, he just gets instantly melted. So you've kind of sacrificed all of your own net worth so that somebody on your team has it. But the issue is that the person who has it is this guy who's literally abandoned this game. So the IO actually has to micro both heroes. I'm assuming it's him. But yeah, this is scary. Okay, they're going to look to do a smoke here, but they don't really have the vision. So they're going into high ground, which is a little dangerous. Oh, they see him. They see him. They popped. Oh, a nice 2-man so far. They do the Hex. Nice RP. They catches out at least 2. The IO's been controlled on the back end of this, and Gyro just trying to do work with it. Oh my gosh, the overpower and the heal. The 2 rapiers just doing too much damage. The PA just gets melted. The Willow, the Dream Coil, doesn't matter about the control. That's 4 so far. And they're going to look to get more. They really want this puck. Hang on, let me just fast forward all this garbage. And this is SEA, where you're probably going to have the disrespect pauses right there. But a blink in forward. Puck just trying to create space by just pushing it. Nice glyph usage. Oh, they do catch out the puck. Nope, nope. He stays on this side. He gets linked and hexed. He pops it, which is perfect. And he's been silenced. Oh, the Sonic Wave. Oh, he phases on out. He blinks to the high ground. Another blink, and this is like... okay. So he gets away. Oh, he does a flicker as well. So this guy is as elusive as ever, and they're just like, okay, he's just wasting time. He's pushing the lanes out. He does have a TP if he wants to go. He TPs, he blinks on in. But Gyro realizing, okay, we can't just chase this guy, right? We just got to push. The Yule's on up, just buying a little bit of time. And the Rax gets... Okay, Glyph. Buyback here. Buyback by PA. So they do need to respect that. No. Puck. They do see him, the Hex. Oh, they catch him. This could be the end of Puck. No. Where is Void going? Okay, interesting. Okay, they realized that they couldn't really take this. The buyback from PA was there, and notice somebody called back. Right? I think most of us would have fought. Tried to catch this puck. But what he's doing is just buying time for that PA to come back into this fight. Smart. Smart. I like it how somebody was like, we're going to call back, and that'll be the end of it. So this peak... What? What? Where's the 6th item? Oh. Wait, how many Divine Rapiers isn't... Okay, so 3 so far. PA's going to get 1, so that's potentially 4. But Void Spirit, this is the super risky play. Maybe Bloodthorn instead. Because I feel like this is risky, right? Yeah, you haven't really been dying. Oh, Quap is still away. Is in the back. This is scary. Oh my gosh, 3 Rapiers on this Gyro. Hang on. 4 Rapiers. And 5 with the PA. And they've got a smoke. Notice how they're not showing themselves. The Gyro being really far up. 5-second charge on this BKB. It's going to go high ground. Oh, like two ships in the night. They just completely... They don't find each other. Wow. Okay. That's a sentry, so that did not spot out. Okay, so they do see that. Uh-oh. 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 He pumped the RP. He's hiding in Roche. Oh, he's been silenced. He's been caught out. This Io's going to die. No buyback. They do need to be careful. The orb on through, and that's the really fast one. The talent. Oh, nice three-man dream coil, but are they going to fight? Here we go. And he's going to go in. The nice sonic wave is going to connect. And Arthur getting a little bit low. But the Satanic just doing so much work. The deafening blast on this one. The radio one doing a lot of work as well. And he's going to keep him on in. Doesn't have buyback on anybody. Void is probably going to go down. And Gyro just single-handedly killing them all with an ultra kill. And he's looking to go. Picks up the... Is he going to pick up the rapier? The 4th rapier. Oh, nope. The Bramble Maze is going to stop him. He's got 4 rapiers. What is going on? Gyro... He lost his rapier. And did the Void. Hang on. Who's got the other rapier? Oh, there's okay, so Puck picks up one of the rapiers. Gets the Hex. Blinks on away. So 4 rapiers. 5 rapiers total. But 4 of them on Gyro. I've never seen somebody with 4 Divine Rapiers. In all the years that I've seen Dota, I have never seen a single hero have 4 rapiers, and he's got Satanic on top of this. Can he just end? Oh my gosh. Wow, so Puck just got destroyed, and look at how fast these towers are going down. He's getting silenced. These BKBs? No, he's probably just hit the Ancient. Backdoor, no backdoor. And look at this is the disrespect. You're not playing in C if you're not disrespecting people. All right, hang on. Let's just fast forward this. I mean... This Puck just trying to slow them down. Hex one more time, just through, and wow. 46-41, 4 Divine Rapiers. Gyro. Just being able to out-heal that. He's super strong this patch. I mean, if we're looking at it, look. 3 digits to 4 digits. Ranked Immortals. This is probably very high-level Dota. Really nice to see. Let's just look at damage. I think that's the biggest one. 94,000 damage. Okay, so we can clearly say the Gyro's the MVP. Is the logic correct? Yes, it is, of course. And this is a pretty big one, too. Right? I think you have to give props where props are due. Especially to a support, right? Like, normally you're like, Invoker, right? Like, I mean, sorry, the support with only 7k or whatever net worth really didn't add too much value and all that stuff. But look at this. Like, the amount of saves he did, the nice relocates, the heals. Like, this is completely underrated stuff. And this is the problem with being a support player. Is that you're not really in the limelight, so to speak. So, just really nice play. I'm going to give props to this IO because I feel like the IO really kept them in the game, especially early. But yeah, 4 Divine Rapiers, a total of 5. The Puck doing what he can, but this is the issue with the Puck, right? He falls off in the end. But super elusive, 7 deaths. The guy seemed like you would, with any other hero, probably would have died like close to 13, 15 times with how aggressive he was being. I think that if you're talking about the Radiant side, what they could have done better was probably like, I really didn't feel the impact moving like towards the mid to late game with this Magnus and the Willow. And I think it's more of like a build thing because they didn't have really ways to control the Gyro who was getting out of control. Like this Halberd should have been there way earlier. He went super defensive. He went, Blink, Force, and then BKB in that order. So getting the Halberd that late was really hurt you. Like getting this like Blink, RP, then you can kind of skewer Gyro, you can kind of control him. And yeah, he had BKB, but you play around those charges, and then you get the Halberd off. You know what I mean? You just stop that kind of stuff. So nonetheless, really good game, very interesting game for Divine Rapiers. Again, you don't see this every day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please give a like and a subscribe if you're tuning in. I'm here on streaming on Twitch, Holler TV. Please find me. Please do me a follow. And I do this every day, weekdays, 1 to 4. So I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll catch you next time.